The reality is this bill is so onerous as it relates to individual gun owners being charged, but also civilly charged.
Ed Sullivan with the Illinois State Rifle Association just previewing some of the legislation that's going to be discussed this week in the Illinois Senate Executive Committee. It's Illinois in Focus Daily. I'm Greg Bishop. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, keeping you up to date with what's going on at the Illinois State House. The House has been off this week, but the Illinois Senate, they came in yesterday at 4 o'clock, gavelled in, did some points of personal privilege, read a whole bunch of first readings and some second readings, and then they adjourned. They're back at it this morning. They've got committee hearings, and one of the things they're going to be talking about later this week on Thursday deals with gun control efforts. Earlier this week, I talked with Ed Sullivan from the Illinois State Rifle Association, and he shared with me what he expects to see come up Thursday in the Illinois Senate Executive Committee at the Capitol in the afternoon hours.
The one is Senate Bill 8. That has to deal with basically, the main premise there is safe storage of firearms. The second bill, something that the Illinois State Rifle Association supports, is the FOID diversion program. So I guess I'll tackle the FOID diversion program. We were instrumental in making permanent and helping rewrite the first-time weapons offender program. So this is something that Jimmy Durkin, back when he was in the House, worked with A.G. Raoul to have a diversion program for people with nonviolent offenses dealing with a FOID card. And so basically those are the folks that, feel scared in their neighborhood, have a firearm, but failed to get a FOID card. So it's a felony, but it's a nonviolent felony. So ISRA believes that, well, first, we don't believe in the FOID card. But secondary to that, we signed on to that bill to have a diversionary program so people don't go to jail and then they become legal. What the Cook County State's Attorney's Office has done, O'Neill, has basically said while they're in this diversion program, they should have the ability to file for a FOID card. And so, in essence, get them legal faster. And so, obviously, this is something that we believe if you're going to have the FOID card, let's make sure that it benefits our members. In the long run, this diversion program also could be used for somebody that may not have registered a semi-automatic firearm and gets pinched for it. So this is something that can help our members as well, aside from the general public. So a program that we certainly support and will support. We supported the bill in the House, and we'll support Senator Sims, Leader Sims' bill in the Senate as well.
So that's just one bill that the Illinois State Rifle Association, when it comes to gun issues, is going to support a diversionary program for first-time felony offenses that aren't violent if somebody's charged with a gun violation, and that could be, for instance, being found with a banned firearm in the state of Illinois. If it's found in a nonviolent situation and you didn't register it, then you could be charged with a felony. And ultimately, State Rifle Association sees this as a good piece of legislation to ensure that FOID card holders don't get too beat up over that. So we'll see how far that goes. But you've also got the safe storage aspect, and that's something that's been talked about quite a bit. But a host of other bills that are still being considered in the Illinois House that Sullivan touched on.
The one is Senate Bill 8. That has to deal with basically the main premise there is safe storage of firearms. The second bill, I don't know what's going on in the House at this point. I think they're going to have a discussion in the Democrat working group on firearms that Bob has, Representative Morgan has. And so they'll continue to talk about that. There is going to be a hearing on the 28th, I think, in Gun Violence Prevention Committee about Hershar has a bill, in essence, to expand the use of clinical nurse practitioner psychologists, clinical psychologists to do these evaluations. And she wants to strengthen around what is looked for and taught. Something that's intriguing from our end, from the standpoint of, by doing that, I think you open up more avenues to have an evaluation for our members should they have lost their FOID card for some reason. Really, you see a lot of FOP a lot of Chicago police where they, maybe have a little timeout because they, have some emotional issues or whatever. They're not supposed to get caught up into losing their FOID card, and it seems like that might be something that's happening. And so another way to, get people back on track quicker. And so it's really been a problem of people getting their FOID cards back after, an evaluation and so forth. So discussions ongoing on that, and that will take place end of April. I know her and I talked about her tax credit. Certainly, if you're going to talk about safe storage, well, then you automatically should be talking about a tax credit. Because if you're going to force someone to buy safe storage, you're in essence, to some degree, people that don't have the means to buy a $1,000 safe, you got to do something for them if you're going to force them into that. So as it relates to Senate Bill 8, the Safe Storage Act, the Anti-Gun Coalition is going to talk about the two young kids that found a firearm in their dad's dresser a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and one of the kids was killed, as the reason why they should pass the Safe Storage Act. Never let a tragedy go unused with these folks. The reality is there's already a law that evidently should have prevented this tragedy, which it didn't, which we know that doesn't work. But more importantly, the father is already been charged. So they're going to use that as a reason to pass this new Safe Storage Act, and they're going to say it's all about the kids. The reality is this bill is so onerous as it relates to individual gun owners being charged, but also civilly charged. And let me expand upon that. So someone breaks into my house, steals one of my firearms, and then uses it in a crime. Let's say they wound somebody or kill somebody. That family of the person that was killed can come back and sue me personally because I didn't have a storage device in my house. Now, if I'm a single male and I don't have anyone coming into my house, why would I have a safe storage device? So this is more about tripping up and penalizing gun owners. The other thing with this is they talk about a safe storage device anywhere you would have a firearm. So it could be your home, it could be your business, it could be your car, it could be anywhere under your control. And that's the wording of the law. It says anywhere under your control. So if I'm the manager of a restaurant and I bring my concealed carry firearm and someone grabs it, or I didn't have it in a safe storage area, I could be held liable. And so this is really about tripping up gun owners, and it's really onerous and quite frankly, we believe unconstitutional. I'll present evidence of previous court cases that has declared you can't sue somebody from the acts of somebody else. And so, once again, overreach by the Anti-Gun Coalition, and we'll be ready for it on Thursday afternoon.
So again, this is Ed Sullivan. He's with the Illinois State Rifle Association. Talked with him earlier this week. Shared some of that conversation yesterday about them asking the U.S. Department of Justice to come to Illinois to evaluate whether the state's gun control laws violate Second Amendment rights. But we also chatted about upcoming legislation. And as you heard, it's kind of a mixed bag. They're going to oppose the safe storage bill, but they're going to support the diversionary program for first-time nonviolent offenders that he says could be beneficial to ISRA members if they are found to have tripped the wire on a law here in Illinois that's very restrictive when it comes to gun ownership. So yeah, a mixed bag of sorts.
Certainly. I think the one that really has the most life from an anti-Second Amendment standpoint is this Senate Bill 8 and the safe storage. It also has some language in there thrown in to talk about trier of facts as to whether a gun has been stolen or not. And so once again, they're saying that you have to check the stolen gun database, and if you have the gun and it turns out it's stolen, you can be charged with a stolen firearm. Well, you check the database, doesn't come back stolen, and then someone turns it in and it comes back stolen. How do I, you can say, yeah, well, I did check it, but if I don't take those notes, then I'm going to get charged. So there's some problems on that end too. But I think Senate Bill 8 is the main one. I think the safe storage tax credit, or the Hershar bill, I think that's, they're not going to do that. Once again, that's going to cost the state money. So why would they do that? It'll be interesting.
Yeah, definitely going to be interesting, and we'll be there to cover it here with Illinois in Focus Daily. Wake up with us each and every weekday morning. A couple other Second Amendment related issues. Wanted to share these with you as well. Just some things coming into my inbox. You've got a law firm, Romanucci and Blandon, LLC, along with Everytown, representing 48 survivors in the Highland Park mass shooting. They say they got a victory to be able to hold Smith & Wesson and gun sellers Bud's Gun Shop and Red Dot Arms accountable for enabling the shooter to carry out the massacre in Highland Park in 2022. The court denied Smith & Wesson's motion to dismiss as to plaintiffs' unfair business practices and negligence claims, but granted them as to the plaintiffs' deceptive business practices claims. The court also denied the motion to dismiss by Red Dot and Bud's Gun Shop in its entirety. So, again, we'll watch and see where that goes. Also, in some other things coming through, you have the arrest of Cory Booker's staffer in Washington, D.C. Cory Booker, a U.S. senator, has been vehemently opposed to, the availability of firearms in some instances. Interesting to see this as the Alan Gottlieb's organization, Second Amendment Foundation, put this out as a statement saying that Cory Booker's never met a gun control law he didn't like. He has supported all kinds of gun-grabbing proposals. The stricter, the better. Yet, it's now revealed that Mr. Batts, described as a special assistant to Cory Booker, you've got him being arrested. A retired police officer makes him just another private citizen, but no special privileges. The fact he apparently goes with Booker, presumably armed, to various events in New Jersey is ample evidence that the senator thinks it's okay for him to have security while the rest of us don't. So just kind of in summation there, some of the back and forth. So we'll keep you updated on all that and more. It's Illinois in Focus Daily. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Wake up with us each and every weekday morning as we break down things that you need to know to get your day going here with the Land of Lincoln.